Really quick, everybody, this entire video will be timestamped, so if you don't want to watch whole thing and just get straight into a different topic, please check the pinned comment or the red bar right down below you. Again, this entire video will be timestamped, and I'd appreciate you guys watching whatever part you'd like to if you're sticking around, guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels, and welcome back to our complete betting guide for UFC Vegas 75. We are going to go through my confident picks, underdog opportunities, fights that you should avoid, lock of the week, and then my official bets for the weekend. Again, guys, timestamps are there if you would like to use them. Let's get into it with the confident picks. Starting off with the first fight, my confident pick is Christian Quinones. Now, the only problem with this fight is the potential is there when you have a guy like Quinones, the style that he has where he likes to get crazy, get excited for the fight, get in there and like really have fun with it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can slip up, and the possibility for Kang to catch him is always there. However, other than that, I'm very confident that his heavy pressure style and mixing it in with the takedowns will be able to defeat Kang. I don't know if he'll end up getting a finish, but at the end of the day, I am confident in Christian taking this win. The next confident pick I have, and guys, this one was almost lock of the week, but there is a better lock of the week, to be honest with you. Marvin Vettori. I am all over this guy, and the odds are bouncing around like crazy. I cannot believe it. I can't believe that the odds are like have this fight as a pick'em. I am so high on Marvin Vettori to win. I believe his heavy pressure style and Jared Cannonier at his age, 39 years old, slowing down, very inactive in his fights against Marvin Vettori, who will always be coming forward and doing something, whether it's takedowns, punches, whatever you want. Jared Cannonier, all he has to offer in this fight, and I'm not saying that's all he has to offer, period, but with the matchup with Vettori, all he has to offer is his power, and you're not putting Vettori out. Costa couldn't do it. Adesanya couldn't do it. Whitaker couldn't do it. Excuse me. There's no way Jared Cannonier will put out Marvin Vettori. And Marvin Vettori is just entering his prime. I believe Marvin Vettori is pretty much a lock. As close as you could get to a lock, I'm betting on Marvin Vettori. Now, guys, let's talk about a couple underdog opportunities. Now, when I say underdog opportunities, I'm not saying it's a good idea to bet. I'm just saying if you're looking to bet on an underdog, these are the ones you should probably take a look at while it is still risky. The first one being Felipe Bunes. At the time of recording this video, he is a plus 225 underdog. That's very good. Felipe Bunes, I've seen in LFA, and he's looked very good in LFA, and I've been excited for his UFC debut. He's taken on Zhalgas Zhumagulov, who I mentioned in my breakdown video. Zhalgas has been getting screwed over by the judges, and he's been very vocal about being screwed over by the judges. You know, one of those fighters that are like, oh, the judges don't know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. So if this fight goes to decision, because he's been trash-talking the judges, I'm not above the idea that they'll screw him out of a decision again if this fight were to go to decision. But when these two match up, I believe that I'm picking Zhumagulov to win the fight. Don't get me wrong. But I believe Bunes is being very overlooked a little bit. His style can win. He has some very sneaky power. He has some very sneaky submissions. I think this fight's closer than people are making it out to be. So if you're looking for an underdog, Bunes isn't bad. The next underdog opportunity we have is Gabriela Fernandez. Right now, at the time of recording this video, she is a plus 300 underdog. Does that make sense? Probably. I'm actually picking her to win this fight, to be honest with you. Although it's close, like, don't take my word for it. It's a close fight. Bleda probably has the better skill set, but Gabriela Fernandez has shown incredible strength for that division. So when they clash, and on top of that, this is a WMMA fight, anything can happen in these divisions. If you're going to bet on an underdog, honestly, that might be the one that you want to consider taking a look at. So she doesn't have the skill set to really win this fight, but her size and strength might be able to get the job done. Plus, again, like I said, WMMA, anything can happen. Now, the last underdog that you do have an opportunity with is Christian Leroy Duncan versus Armen Petrosyan, and Armen Petrosyan right now is sitting at a plus 225 underdog. The only reason I say this, and I'm picking Duncan to win the fight, okay? I believe he is better by, no, I don't know about how much, but I believe he's better, and I believe he's going to win the fight. However, Christian Leroy Duncan has not had that test in the UFC, and we have seen Armen Petrosyan hang with very nice names in the UFC. He has nice power. He has great technique. He belongs in the UFC, and this is going to be a big test for Duncan. Look what just happened with Blake Builder. Was it last week or a couple weeks ago? Look what just happened with Blake Builder. Exact same thing could happen with Christian Leroy Duncan. I'm not overly sold on him yet. And this is a very, very big test. Armin Petrosyan could very well win this fight. Before we get into Lock of the Week, I do want to bring you guys through a couple fights that I think you should stay far away from, no matter what your bet is on it. And the first one being Nicolas Mata versus Manuel Torres. These two have a skill set that is so similar and so seems to be evenly matched. This is truly one of those 50-50 fights. I believe if you bet on this fight, you're saying, I'm throwing my money on red. I have no clue who's going to win this fight. This is a 50-50, and this is going to be an exciting fight. Similar matchups, similar records. It's everything about this fight is exciting, and I have no clue who's going to come out on top. And I believe, I've been watching some other, content creators making videos on this, and people don't necessarily come to the 50-50 conclusion, but everybody's always like, man, this fight's going to be close. So this one, absolutely stay away from. The next fight that I believe you should be staying away from is Jimmy Flick versus Alessandro Costa. The reason being is Jimmy Flick is having a little bit of an internal battle. He was having a great UFC career and then retired, came back, didn't seem like the good guy. Doesn't seem like the guy he once was. Who knows what's going to happen? Was this loss just a long layoff? Was it? Nobody knows. And apologies if you could hear my phone. He's too risky to bet on right now. We don't know how much he's training. We don't know how much he's into it to become a champion. And he's fighting a guy in Costa who should beat him at this point. But if Jimmy Flick comes into this fight, the guy that he used to be, Jimmy Flick will win this fight. So because we don't know that, I would really stay cautious of this fight. The last fight that I believe you need to stay away from, and this is what we've just talked about, because Armin Petrosyan, I said, is a good underdog opportunity, and it's it really is gambling with your money if you want to bet on Armin Petrosyan to win this fight. Just the same reasons that I've just talked about, honestly, because Leroy Duncan is untested. He's untested, and this is going to be his first big test. I believe Duncan will pass that test, but like I mentioned in the other section of the video, look at Blake Builder. Perfect example. This same thing could very well happen. While I'm high on Christian Leroy Duncan, I'm not convinced he's going to win at all. If he gets past Petrosyan, we can look forward to putting him maybe as a parlay piece later on. I don't know. For now, though, I'm staying away from it. Moving on to the lock of the weekend, guys. You probably saw this one coming. What's there to say, man? Armin Tsarukyan. He's going to just wipe the floor with Joaquin Silva. Look, the odds, and I don't have it in front of me right now, but the odds on Tapology are minus 1,000. I know it's been minus 1,000 for a little bit, but man, he's just a better fighter. He seems like the guy that he's on track to become a champion. Joaquin Silva has a spotty record as of right now. The only chance that Silva has is to catch him with a big shot. That's all. Armin will outdo him everywhere else. Armin Tsarukyan, and the problem is, man, you can't really even place Armin Tsarukyan on as a parlay piece because it adds nothing. I was able to find something which we'll get into in a second, but Armin Tsarukyan's going to win this fight. It's one of the most fights I've been sure of in a long time. Now, guys, before we get going today, I do want to show you my official bets that I have placed so far. The first one actually being a little bit of a parlay with a Bellator fighter in Vadim Nemkov, excuse me. I'm sure he's going to beat Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero's 46 years old. There's no chance he's going to win that fight. So I thought because I wanted to bet on Quinozes, this would essentially make me double my money because I believe that Nemkov is a lock on Friday. So I don't know if you guys want to really have my UFC bets and Bellator bets in one video, but I thought it was worth mentioning. I placed $10 on that. The next bet is Marvin Vettori. I cannot believe that these odds are how they are with Marvin Vettori right now. And usually I play around with $10, $15, but I like Marvin Vettori. And I like the odds here. $30 gets me almost 60. That is crazy to me that this fight is so close in the odds. It's like a steal. Next up, I have another one with Marvin Vettori and Armin Tsarukyan in a parlay, just enough to double my money. So I wanted to put a little bit more on Marvin Vettori, and Armin Tsarukyan is pretty much a lock to win. But there are props that have not dropped yet. And the other bet that I will be placing when it comes is both Vettori fight and Bleda fight to go over 1.5 rounds. I believe that both those fights will go over 1.5 rounds, so I don't know what else to say about that. I just don't see a finish happening. Marvin Vettori was granted chin. Jared Cannonier and Marvin Vettori necessarily isn't a finisher, and I usually bet on women's fights unless it's Amanda Nunes to go over 1.5 rounds. So that's the plan. That's a game plan. I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling really good about it. But guys, with that being said, that puts an end to this video today. Let me know what your official bets will be for this weekend. Last weekend, Blake Builder hit me hard, man. So let's hope we do better this time. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, let me know what your bets are down below. And if you want to continue watching the Clenbat channel, 2 videos are on screen right now for you. Check them out, guys. I will see you either there or in the next video. Take care.